This is Dan Core, and
I got from 0 to 100K a month as one person.
yes, he makes over $100,000 to $300,000 per month working alone, and
This year, I am at 1.8 million.
Dan is one of the successful and fast-growing business and self-development creators on YouTube, where he has over 600,000 subscribers and millions of followers on other platforms. And he also has a couple of other successful businesses that he has grown while having 0 employees. So this video is going to teach you how Dan figured out how to make money online and how he made over $100,000 to $300,000 every single month working alone. If you've been wanting to start a business or you've clicked for motivation and inspiration, well, this video is for you. For those who don't know, Dan Core is a very successful entrepreneur and businessman as he owns multiple successful businesses.
So I have a few different products. I'll start by saying that since my audience has grown, or like at the start when I was doing the web design stuff, I eventually transitioned into brand/marketing consulting. I also have 3 digital products right now. So it's Modern Mastery, the community, which is like a synthesis of self-improvement, health and fitness, and then business in terms of marketing and more beginner level, educating people on all those skills. And also people can just meet and talk in there. And then 2 Hour Writer, which is just writing and branding on social media, like creative writing. And then Digital Economics, another course that's like a bigger version of that, but that goes over my entire philosophy of like holistic entrepreneurship, or being able to turn yourself into the business, or you being the niche and kind of selling, you making an income off of solving your own problems in life and creating a solution for those. And then last things is I'm co-owner of an animations agency, which is like if you've seen the animations on my Instagram or shorts, it's like those. I'm building a software too and the book. So
yeah, that's what I meant when I said he has multiple businesses that he runs. And these different streams of income that he has generates him tons of money.
This year I am at 1.8 million halfway through the year revenue.
And he's also on track to make even more millions with his new book.
And I projected like 2.5, but I think I'll pass that because I have high hopes for the book. And if I nail that, yeah, I feel like I can definitely pass that.
But before we dive into how and what business strategies exactly made him over $100,000 per month, note that right now his businesses have grown so much that he has
a bunch of subcontractors
who help him out with some of his work. Like,
so I have my good friend Joey. He helps me out with pretty much all of the products while he's doing his own thing. He's like a fractional COO. I have like people that engage with the community who are just like contractors that have been a student of mine for a long time, and they know how to answer questions, and so they're answering questions in the community and helping out there. And then my YouTube editor, Devin, who used to be my roommate but still lives here. So technically for work for me, but before that, and why I preach the one-person business model is because I got to from 0 to 100K a month as one person. Right. And so when I talk about the one-person business model, it's for the beginners that are just starting out until they can build that either small team or the business that requires them to bring more people on.
Before we get into how Dan made over $100,000 per month alone in just a minute, first you need to know, how did he come up with the idea of generating that much money?
I was doing on Twitter. I love Twitter above all social medias, but when I was on Twitter and I was doing like the marketing consulting thing, I was talking to someone and they were doing the exact same thing as me, pretty much offering the same thing, had the same follower count, same knowledge. Like I knew that I could replicate whatever they were doing. I was making like 20K at the time a month, and he posted where he's like, I just hit my first 100K month. And I was like, no way. Like how are you doing this when I'm down here and I feel like I'm doing the most I can? And so just seeing that was like, okay, that's possible. I'm not going to be like the average Joe that has no perspective and it's like, oh, that's a scam. That's like the worst fucking way to think about things, because then you just close yourself off to really any potential in life, whether or not it's a scam or not, right? And so when I saw that, it's like, how can it forces you to think creatively to either spend the same amount of time working or less time working in order to get more results. And so that required me to not only restructure the offer, but restructure promotions related to that and start driving more traffic to it. Because then you can identify like, oh, I'm not promoting this enough. Oh, I'm not promoting this at all. Oh, if I do promote this too much, what's going to happen? I'm going to take on too many clients. I'm going to burn out. How am I going to restructure the program so it's more asynchronous? Maybe I don't require calls, but I can still maintain the value of the marketing consulting in there, charge more, add something onto the service, and like shift it around until I can get them.
Having that said, the main question of this video, how did Dan Ko make over $100,000 to $300,000 per month working alone? In a nutshell, Dan's main strategy of making over $100,000 per month, in its simplest form of understanding, he explains that
it was building out the community, it was building out the product, it was doing client work, it was like whatever product I had, whatever the highest level thing that was going to take me to the next level would be. And then after that, it's just about like systemizing and working into your day. And that's why I like the digital products so much, because they don't require much upkeep at all. And so if I want to go and build something next, I have ample time to do so.
Expanding more on that in a detailed way, here's how he did it. It all begins with a newsletter. The center of Dan's business is his newsletters that he publishes on a weekly basis. He spends about an hour a day doing research, writing and putting everything together before publishing the newsletters by the end of the week. That's why his newsletters are so well researched, they have depth and they are long form, which makes them to be like essays. After he posts his newsletters, he then does something really smart to make 6 figures per month: repurposing. He basically takes the newsletters and he literally just reads it out in front of a camera to make his YouTube videos. Then he extracts the audio from his YouTube videos and posts them on his podcast. Now he has 3 forms of long form content from just a newsletter. Then from his newsletters again, he takes certain parts or aspects out of it and he turns them into tweets, and then he takes the best performing tweets and he creates them into Instagram posts, as well as on the YouTube community posts. This guy is a genius, because from one piece of content he makes like over 5 other pieces of content while working for less than 4 hours per day with no team. But the final question is, how does Dan Ko make money from all of this? Well, first, he makes multiple 5 figures with his different platforms where he posts content that we just talked about. And since he's in the business or self-development niche, he earns a ton of money from his content because those niches pay well. Then he also makes money from his physical products like his book, which he promotes in his newsletters, and he also makes money from his digital products like his course called Digital Economics. And he also has a monthly low-ticket subscription-based online community called Modern Mastery, where he gets paid recurring revenue every single month. And from all those businesses combined, Dan Ko generates over $100,000 to $300,000 per month. But the question you might have is, why did he decide to work alone and do everything himself?
There's 2 different things here. The first is that I just had absolutely no clue how to hire. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, I didn't want to learn about it, and so I was like, okay, it was always on my mind, like, I'm just going to do this myself. Like, I didn't know that creators had teams behind them at the time. And so,
I didn't at first either.
Right, and so I'm just like, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it.
On the other hand, if you want to know the exact step-by-step guide of how Dan Ko did this, or what he would do if he started from scratch to make over $100,000 per month, then click this video to learn from him.